So it's a real privilege to be hosting the evening, and of course in memory of my friend Cory Trépanier. Cory and I go back a long way. We have known each other since high school days at Humberview when we were probably 15 years old. And I've got many fond memories. I've been sort of interwoven in Cory's career in many facets over the years as sponsor and support. But he was just a really good guy, you know? And a couple of things I wanted to share with you that I remember is even in high school, one of the things that was very clear about Cory is that he is extremely particular. And he was particular in how he painted. He was particular in how he organized. He was particular about how he arranged his case. And the best example was, I believe it was the book launch that we were doing, and the Lieutenant Governor of Ontario, Miss Dodwell, was there. And Cory and I were talking about the setup of the chairs. And Cory said, yes, Lieutenant Governor's going to be here and she's going to be sitting in that chair right there, Bill. And oh, just a moment. And he went over and he said, I got to adjust this. And he moved the chair about 1/8 of an inch. And that to me was like the caption on his attention to detail, never mind the art, but in everything he did. He was very particular. The other thing I fondly remember about Cory was his ability to sort of engage people like myself as sponsors to help move projects along. So whether it was note cards, whether it was his Into the Arctic movie series, which fortunately I was able to be with from the beginning to the end as sponsor and host. And I remember Cory would call, and I always knew when Cory was calling he had something on his mind that was business related. And he would go into a rather long story about, you know, the exposure and the intricacies of it and all the parts and pieces, but I used to cut him off and just say, okay, I'm in. And so our relationship continued where his explanations got shorter and our involvement got bigger. One of the other things I wanted to share with you about Cory in terms of his special characteristics was the fact that not only was he, you know, world-class artist, without a doubt, but he was also a very strong and powerful entrepreneur, in the sense that he had the ability to not only be the painter and the artist and the visionary, but he was also the chief cook and bottle washer when it came to the marketing and economy of scale of his work. He had a tremendous skill of weaving people into his marketing fabric to help him to launch and excel his career globally, all the while still being able to paint, which was a very rare thing for most artists to be able to do. They needed to hire teams to do that. Cory had that innate ability to do both at the same time, recruiting help when he needed it, but do it exceptionally well. And as a sole proprietor myself, boy, that's something that you can really admire in somebody. And that I'll never forget.